I had already done two other businesses, but I was looking for what I would do next, where I could devote most of my life and energy to one thing. And I made a list of criteria of what I was looking for. And the list was both what I was looking for in a business and also what I was looking for that would keep me motivated and interested as a person in that business. And so the first thing from a business standpoint is I wanted to find an industry that I thought would grow for at least the next 50 years. And if you stop and think about it, it's not so easy to predict what is definitely going to be growing 50 years from now. So, for example, uh, will we have oil and gas 50 years from now? Or will we have another form of energy? We don't know. In technology, it's always changing so quickly. So we know there'll be technology, but you don't know which one is going to be around for 50 years. And I went industry after industry and after industry, and what I decided at the end of the day, that health and wellness was a category that would grow for at least the next 50 years. And that was 16 years ago. Actually, it was 20 years ago when I decided that. And health and wellness has only grown bigger even than I thought, and it's going to continue to grow and be bigger. And it's the most important thing outside of family and our religion. It's the only thing. The next thing is our health. If we don't have health, we don't have a life. And people all over the world are recognizing this. And so I wanted to say, well, if I'm going to be in the health and wellness category, how do I find the best? Because if I'm going to represent this company, I will not feel comfortable representing anything that is not the best, in my opinion. So it took me several years to find the industry, health and wellness. And then I just went through and identified companies. I said, okay, which one's the best? And I discovered Shaklee at that time. And Dr. Shaklee invented the multivitamin 105 years ago and really created and pioneered the nutritional supplement industry. And like somebody who's been invented it, and the company is still around after many, many decades, and has a commitment to quality and to research and development, and has customers that buy their product for 10 years and 20 years and 30 years and 40 years and 50 years and 60. This must be something special. And then I also made a list of personal criteria of what I wanted in my business is that I wanted the business to be a global business. And the reason is that I had lived and worked in New York, London, Tokyo, Paris, Hong Kong, and I loved the idea that in different countries, people have different cultures, but I also believe that people are fundamentally have the same desires. They want to provide a better life for themselves and their family. They want to devote their time and energy to something that is important, that has a purpose, that they want to be part of something bigger than just themselves, and that they want to help others if they can. And so that was, I asked myself, could I ever find a business that would be growing for the next 50 years, be global in nature, and make a real difference, not just for one person or two people or three people, but millions of people around the world. That was my criteria. And I had a team of people who worked for me, and they would look at businesses for me. And I wrote down on a whiteboard, this is the kind of business I'm looking for. And my team said, Roger, it's impossible to find a business like that. You can either find a business that is growing and has good economics, or you can find a business that's local or maybe international, or you could find a business that in some small way does a good thing for people, but you're never going to find one that has all of them. And I'm like, let's try. So thousands of companies later, 4 years later, then I finally found Shaklee. I'm like, this is perfect.